Okay.
Good evening, everyone. This is Cricket Country, and I'm Aditya along with Devachit. First of all, we'd like to apologize for the technical issues, but now it's sorted out. And welcome back to the day analysis of India versus New Zealand. The first is day three. So there was a lot of action on the cricket field right now in the day's play, with India bundling New Zealand out for 260 odd runs and getting a surprising lead of 56 runs in this crucial Test match. And India have batted really well in the last two sessions also, with a solid lead of 215 runs with 2 full days to go. So the match has completely turned from New Zealand's favour, and now it has shifted towards India. India were trailing 1-4 in the session battle, and now India have leveled at 2-4 all. Exactly. So what do you have to say about it? Ashwin and Jadeja obviously were expected to rattle the Kiwi lineup, and they did just that.
The signs were there yesterday when the second session was about to end yesterday. Basically, the ball was starting to turn, and there was some spike for the Indian spinners when they were bowling towards the end of the second session. Unfortunately, because of the rains, we could not have the final session. But what it meant was the Indian hopes were high. They got a little more amount of time to rest their bodies, and they came hard on the New Zealand batsmen on the third day morning, which we got to see today. There was a lapse in concentration, is what I would like to say, when Tom Latham got out. It was a pretty much straight ball by Ravindra Ashwin. He missed the line completely. He got trapped leg before, and one wicket always gives the chance to the opposition to take a few more wickets, and that is what India were able to do. Unfortunately for New Zealand, there were a few tight decisions which you can recall in case of Ross Taylor. Some are still saying that the ball was drifting down the leg side. Even the way in which Luke Rocky was dismissed, the first impression did not suggest that the ball was hitting the front pad. It was actually hitting the back leg, and which means the ball was probably moving away from the off stump. Had we had the ball tracking technology, we would have been able to determine what exactly the case was. But unfortunately, it was how it was meant to be. But full credit to India for winning an entire day. India are all 4-all with New Zealand in terms of session battles. India started the day with a couple of wickets. Then they came out to bat with a positive intent. And the most surprising part of the entire day's play was the way Cheteshwar, Pujara and Murali Vijay began in the final session. Yeah. They added in less than 3 overs, they added more than close to 30 runs.
28, yeah.
Which is so against the style of the play which these two batsmen have. They like to drop the anchor, and they like to build the innings. But there was an unseen, a surprising element of aggression from these two batsmen, which would have definitely rattled the New Zealand, which is certainly a masterstroke by the Indian camp.
But going back to Indian bowlers, like obviously it was expected Ashwin to dominate the proceedings, and Jadeja also. But what do you have to say about Jadeja? He's having a very good match. He scored 42 odd runs, and his cameo, if I can say, helped India get past 300. And in this Test match, it's turning out to be a modest total Test match. It's not a very high scoring one, but then it is very important. Those 42 runs which Jadeja piled up for India on the second day, correct. And plus he came up with a fifer.
See, what in the hindsight we must acknowledge the fact that this particular wicket at Green Park in Kanpur, it is giving us an opportunity to witness a very even battle between bat and the ball. If you are bowling good line and lengths, and if you are getting the ball to turn, you will get wickets. That is what New Zealand did. A New Zealand fast bowler Neil Wagner had 3 wickets in the first innings. Even Trent Bolt had a few wickets. Mitchell Santner as well. Now, Ravindra Jadeja and Ravichandran Ashwin are the two men who are expected to dominate right from the ball one. But if the pitch is gentle, which is what we got to see in this Test match, we were being told that the pitch will start turning from the end of the second day onwards, and the third day is third day is when we will get to see probably the true nature of the pitch, which we did get to see today. But then, if you are a batsman and if you apply yourself, if you are watching the ball closely, if you are keeping your bat pretty much straight, which is what Mitchell Santner did for a very long time in his innings, which is why Tom Latham was able to get the runs which he got in the first innings, and which is why Cheteshwar, Pujara and Murali Vijay have been able to do that. So if you are really applying on this wicket, you will get runs. It is not about the pitch carrying any kind of demon in it. Those questions are very, very far away. And talking about Ravindra Jadeja, he is supposed to thrive on these kind of situations. The pitch is assisting spinners. He's playing in home conditions. He knows the mindset is that he has to attack. He has to take wickets. The situation, the entire scene is set for him to come to the platform and strike for India, and that is what he's been able to do.
And what about Ashwin's delivery to clean gold Kane Williamson?
It
I
was
mean, that did set the momentum for India from the first session.
it did set the momentum for India because Kane Williamson's was a big wicket. It was obviously it is obviously going to be a massive wicket throughout the time New Zealand are here in India, because Kane Williamson is one batsman who is promising runs every single time he will walk out to bat in the remainder of the tour. But what we have to acknowledge over here is Ashwin was trying to get the ball turned into the batsman sharply, and which is what he tried doing with Luke Rocky as well when after Kane Williamson got out. But some of those balls pitched in the same area, around that same area, the same kind of deliveries, they did not turn much, and Ashwin was punished for boundaries. So probably I'll say Ashwin was lucky to have generated so much amount of turn, which actually surprised the New Zealand captain, and it turned in so much that he did not have enough time and he did not have anything else to do but to try and fend it away, which he could not. And the ball, meanwhile, crashed into his wickets.
And what about New Zealand's batting? I mean, it is totally surrounded with Kane Williamson at one hand holding their innings every time, and it is expected that he'll score for them every time. But then, what about the others? They have to step up, and it's like a big concern for them. It was clear today only that most of the batsmen are inexperienced in Indian conditions, and the ability to apply was missing from their end. So, is this a concern for them leading into the rest of the series?
It will be a concern for every single team which is going to come to India in this India cricket season, which is what we have. We have 13 test matches. We have New Zealand right now. Then there are 5 test matches against England, 1 against Bangladesh, and 4 against Australia. What the touring batsmen have to do is they have to produce innings. They have to bat with unity. They have to try and create certain kind of impression that they are not individual brilliance. What Indians know right now is what the Indians probably would be having an impression of New Zealand is. Okay, they have a good opener. They have an aggressive opener in Martin Guptill. They have Tom Latham who can drop the anchor. At number 3, they have is their most dangerous batsman. Post that, we have the going a little bit easy, and then you have to also remember that they're also missing Jimmy Nasham. He's one very good aggressive batsman. So what I was trying to tell you was the kind of impression which India have about New Zealand. But if the opposition has to do well in India, they will have to change their own perception about their own batting attack in the minds of the Indians, because it is all most of the battles are won in the mind. So if Indians think that this is the most important wicket or that is the most important wicket, they will be a little more aggressive. But if if we are knowing, I mean, if they are in the impression that okay, this is this is one side, let's say suppose England are coming next, right? England bat very very deep, even in Test cricket, even in one day cricket, even in T20 cricket. So India will know that it will be daft. It will be impossible for them to take off the guard or get relaxed after getting 4-5 wickets, because there is still a lot of batting left. But the same cannot be said about New Zealand, because a lot of their batsmen are very inexperienced. But if they apply themselves, this is not a bad pitch at all. If you apply yourself, there are fast bowlers who are not able to get anything out of it. There are spinners, more than half of their deliveries are not turning viciously. So if New Zealand batsmen, or for that matter, even Indian batsmen, they had a lot of soft dismissals in the first innings. Some of them will get to bat tomorrow because India are 250 runs away. So we don't expect India to bat all the way till the end. Right? There is a declaration we can expect some time around lunch or probably an hour after that. But India will also keep the time in their minds and the weather conditions, because the rain forecast has been there for all the 5 days, which is what I checked as well. So to produce a unified batting performance is something which New Zealand will have to aim to get, and that is what was missing today.
And 2 interesting things about India when India came out to bat. They had a good lead, a vital lead, but then KL Rahul, he scored 32 of 39 balls in the first innings.
Correct.
And then he again got a start today. He was dismissed just before he was looking set for a 50.
Correct.
Or other big innings. But then he has played well and he's in very good touch. But do you see these his ways of dismissal? I mean, it's like he's not being able to convert his starts. If 30s can be pushed towards 50s, he'll be in a better shape in the coming matches.
To tell you honestly, this is something which KL Rahul would be knowing the best, because he was the one doing the scoring. He was the one out there in the middle. and he was the one taking who had taken charge of the run making completely.
Yeah.
Vijay was happy playing the second fiddle when KL Rahul was on his pomp, and he was batting very well in the start of the second Indian innings. What happened was, when you're trying to score aggressively, and that is what aggressively means, not only aggressively as in you're looking to attack every ball, but you're looking to score freely, score easily, like a run or two every single ball. So when you're trying to do that, you'll obviously go for a lot more strokes compared to when you want to drop the anchor, you want to go for the bad balls only. So that is what happened with Rahul. Unfortunately, again he had a very soft dismissal today. There was a first slip in place. He mistimed. His cut shot did not come off very well, but it is something which he would have definitely noticed by even before he would have reached the pavilion after getting out. So we don't really have to worry about that, because Rahul is a class batsman. He's somebody who has the knack, the ability, as well as the talent and skills to convert starts into big scores. It's just that he has been trying to score freely, and he's been getting dismissed. He's being dismissed on two occasions in a very we can say soft manner. He will definitely work upon that, and we may get to see a different approach in Kolkata when he'll bat next.
And talking about different approach, do you think Pujara has taken a different approach in this Test match? He has been scoring runs a lot more freely than he used to, and he's been very confident in his approach, which is the most pleasing factor in his batting.
Talking about Pujara and Rohit Sharma are the two guys who have been in contention for one place in the Indian side. They may not be getting the same spot. Pujara is a number 3 specialist, and Rohit Sharma should bat somewhere around number 5 probably, or number 6 is the ideal position, because at 4 you have Kohli and you don't want to change Arhane's position at 5. So it was definitely refreshing to see, and it was more of an assurance being given by Pujara to the team management that if they are looking for an aggressor in Rohit Sharma, he can also be the one who can come out and start hitting directly, because the first 3 scoring shots from Pujara's bat were all boundaries, and one of them was a stroke played in the air towards mid wicket. Now this is not what we know Pujara for. We know Pujara for blocking the balls. We know Pujara for playing long innings, dropping the anchor and all. But what Pujara tried doing today was changing the entire perception and taking the attack to the opposition. That too coming from Pujara was definitely shocking to see from New Zealand's perspective, because that is something which they were not expecting at all from India, and especially from Cheteshwar Pujara and Murali Vijay. But what they have done is, India have shown one sign. What India have also signaled to all their opponents, including New Zealand, as well as those who are watching. I'm expecting that England are following India very closely. What they are doing, what kind of wickets are they preparing, who is in form, who is not in form, what is good or what is bad about this Indian team. One thing that these two batsmen did today was to give everyone a sign that if India are in a position of advantage, they want to ram it home. They want to outplay the opposition completely. Now, this is one particular particular characteristic which we have not seen exactly with the Indian Test side. The ODI side, the limited over side, can be very rampant. India, they can produce one-way results. They can completely dominate their oppositions. But in Test cricket, it's a different ball game for India, and to see them coming out in such an aggressive manner, even though they had a lead of probably 107 runs is what India were ahead. 108 runs are what India were ahead in the going into the final session. So to have that kind of approach is something I would like to term as proper aggression, because you have the advantage, you want to ram it home, you want to outplay the opposition completely, not even in terms of runs, the figures, but the mental part of it as well.
I think that's what New Zealand were doing till yesterday also. They also wanted to get a firm hand in the match, but then just somehow slipped. And the break, like you said, did the trick for them. The break, the rain interruption, and the match got over. And today they were clueless.
New Zealand did look clueless because probably there was some lax in the concentration had Latham not missed the straight one, because Latham is somebody who can be seen as a workhorse. He is somebody who plays. We saw him bat yesterday entire day. He was producing straight bat on most of the deliveries. Now, if you're producing the straight bat, you're obviously killing the chances of getting the edges, and you're confident that what part of your bat is going to touch the ball. Now, if you're missing a straight one, that is something which tells you about the mindset which you have. And then what we know is if batsmen have batted for long, they too tend to get tired. But then again, everybody was coming off a very long break, as in they had 2 to 3 hours extra on the second day, because there was an entire session were washed out and then overnight rest.
And what do you think about the batting lineup tomorrow? Do you feel they'll go for any changes? Will Rohit Sharma? This situation is suited for Rohit Sharma if he comes early tomorrow. If a wicket falls early and Rohit Sharma comes, because India has a lead of 215 right now, so they'll definitely be pushing for a lead above 350, I suppose. So will Rohit Sharma fit into the bill? Like he's known as an aggressor.
See, if we are talking about aggression, then who is better aggressor than Virat Kohli? If he starts attacking and it's his home conditions, and plus, most importantly, Rohit Sharma got 35 odd runs in the first innings. He played 60 odd balls in the first innings. Virat Kohli played 10 balls. He scored 9 runs. He got 2 boundaries. One was a very good shot through the cover, and one was a pull shot, which actually, I mean, it was a lucky boundary because there was the second boundary came off a misfield by Ish Sodhi, the fielder who caught him a few balls later. So I don't see any change in the batting order in particular, because even Rahane failed for that matter, because Rohit Sharma scored more than Rahane and Virat Kohli put together in the first innings. So I do not see any kind of change being made in the Indian side. If at all India happened to lose an early wicket tomorrow, they would want to bat at least one session. That is what they will want to do, and they will want to now that they are ahead by 215 runs. If they get to say somewhere close to 100 odd more runs in the next 25-30 overs, that is the first session tomorrow. What we may see is somebody like Virat Kohli or even Ajinkya Rahane or Rohit Sharma coming out very, very aggressively. But any change in the batting order is not something which I see happening.
And what do you think? What do you reckon about the target, which India have in mind?
We have already spoken about the target, but because since when we did this analysis after the second session, when India were ahead by 108 runs, 350 still remains the safe target because the pitch is very easy to bat. You want to, if you want to be very, very safe, very, very secure about your position, you want to just outbat New Zealand, don't want to give them any chance at all, then you may opt to bat, since you have a lot of batting left. India are only one wicket down. So with 9 batsmen left, 9 wickets left in the hands, what India may opt for is get on till 300 and then try going the aggressive way, even more aggressive. Getting more runs aggressively from 300 runs onward. So if they happen to touch somewhere around 400, it will be a match-winning total for them. It should be a match-winning total for them, sorry.
So New Zealand, you feel, definitely are on the back foot, and since they are batting fourth in this in a pitch which has a lot of cracks, and Ashwin Jadeja will be up for them.
See, Test cricket is all about the mental part of your skill sets, or mental part of your entire game. Whenever a team is chasing, whenever a team is batting fourth, irrespective of the conditions, we tend to think that the pitch is not good for batting. But we have to see whether the pitch is good for batting at all or not. We saw South Africa the last year. They kept crumbling on every sort of wicket. But when they went to Delhi, at least they were able to do what they wanted to do, which is what? Producing a dead bat. So if New Zealand want to do that, they can definitely do. But it is all about their execution, and it is all about what they want to, how they want to approach their entire game. But definitely, they as of now, they look out of the contest, because another 100 runs and India will start looking as good as invincible in this test match. And this is not something which New Zealand would have wanted themselves to be.
But looks like New Zealand have themselves to blame for this situation. But lots in store for us in day 4 and day 5 also. India are 215 runs ahead, but if early wickets fall tomorrow morning, New Zealand can still somehow manage to sneak into the match.
We do have a game in hand if in case there is an Indian collapse and India bundle out under any target below 300, 320. That is still gettable, because the pitch is not that friendly for bowling. The pitch is good for batting. Kane Williamson showed us that. Cheteshwar, Pujara, Murali, Vijay, they've had 2-century partnerships in this test. Tom Latham showed us that. Mitchell Santner, the guy who came above BJ Watling, he showed us that. So it is all about your application. It is all about your approach. It is all about your mindset. If you want to put yourself under pressure even before going out to bat, then you may lose the contest. But if you want to approach it as you have a different free approach without any pressure. If you keep the pressure out, you can definitely produce any kind of result you want.
So that's it from us. There's lots in store for us in this match. With the match not evenly poised, it's right now in India's favor, but then till yesterday it was in New Zealand's favor. So anything can happen right now. But we have a very grueling session tomorrow on day 4 with Cheteshwar, Pujara and Murali Vijay still batting for India, and we hope to get a very good session tomorrow and a good lead, so that India can push New Zealand on the back foot and win this test match. So that's it from us. Do join us tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Silent कर दिया था मैंने